Hey, welcome to MyMathYourMath. Today we're going to talk about how to solve these equations using completing the square, because you can't factor them and you could use the quadratic formula, but we're going to learn how to complete the square today. We have example A, x squared plus 8x minus 20 equals 0, and then we have example B over here as well, x squared minus 16x plus 1 equals 0. We're going to factor both of these, or solve for x in both of these guys using completing the square. So, example A. The first thing you want to do is put the number on the right side. So we're going to go ahead and add 20 to both sides. And what we're left with is x squared plus 8x plus, and then I like to leave a blank. I say plus blank is equal to 20 plus my blank. And the reason why it's 20 plus blank is what you add to one side of your equation, you want to add to both sides. So blank is equal, your B number, here it's 8, divided by 2 squared. Okay? This is going to be what we add to both sides. So in our case, 8 divided by 2, so let's see it. Here, blank equals 8 divided by 2 squared. That's 4 squared, 16. All right, so we are adding 16 to both sides. Let's go ahead and write that out again now. So we have x squared plus 8x plus 16 is equal 36. And as you can see now, we can easily factor the left-hand side. It becomes x, it's always going to be your b over 2 term over here, plus b over 2, but our b over 2 is 4, squared is equal to 36. And now to find x, we just take the square root of both sides. And when you take a square root of 36, remember, that's plus or minus 6. So x plus 4 is equal to plus or minus 6. So x is equal to negative 4 plus or minus 6. And I will leave that to you guys to figure out. So we have two answers, negative 4 plus 6, negative 4 minus 6. Shouldn't be too difficult from here. You made it this far, you can make it home. All right. Next one. This one won't be so nice. The number that we get on the other side may not necessarily square so nicely. As we saw 36, the square root was 6 over here. So let's start. We are going to bring the 1 to the other side. So I'm going to minus 1 from both sides. And then we are left with x. Actually, let me write that bigger. We are left with x squared minus 16x plus my blank equals negative 1 plus blank. And we're going to go ahead and see what blank is. So here blank is equal to negative 16 divided by 2, which is negative 8 squared. So negative 16 over 2 squared is equal to 64. Okie doke. So we're going to add a 64 to both sides. And what we are now left with is x squared minus 16x plus 64. And by God, this thing factors very nicely at this point. It would be x minus 4 in a parenthesis squared, we'll see in a minute, is equal to 63. So this part just becomes x minus 4 parentheses squared equals 63. We take square root of both sides to undo the square. We have x minus 4 is equal to square root of 63, and when you simplify that, it becomes 3 square root of 7. Add 4, plus or minus. Add 4 to both sides. X is equal to 4 plus or minus 3 radical 7 is the answer for example B. And that's all for completing the square.